Ladies and gents, welcome. Test 1, test 2, test 3. My name is Joseph. Your name is?
Ryan.
Ryan. What made us come here today anyway?
So we've been having these conversations for a while.
Long while.
All things related to photo booths, all the ups, the downs. We just said to ourselves, you know what, ultimately, this is a podcast because this is conversations like a lot of people want to hear, and why not share them with everybody? I think it's useful information.
Let's share with you, the viewers.
All right. So we've got a wide range of things to talk about. Obviously, we're here today sponsored by Bushy Country Club. Obviously, lovely place. You can see this is the bridal suite?
Yeah, bridal suite. Yeah.
So we're in the bridal suite, and different episodes and segments of this will be recorded in obviously different parts of the venue. So you'll get to see this. Thank you, Ali, for having us.
Thank you.
We're going to be here quite frequently. And if there's any other venue out there you'd like us to come and do the podcast at your establishment, please reach out. We're looking for different venues to collaborate with so we can highlight your venue and have the podcast recorded there and even get you on the show. So if you are listening to this and you do have a venue, reach out to us and we'll definitely look to accommodate. So let's go straight in.
Straight in, yeah?
Straight in. Straight in.
All right.
Because you said something to me. You was like, okay, Ryan, one of the subjects I want to talk about is being black in events.
Yep.
So why did you want to pick up that particular subject? What made you say that first and foremost?
Do you know what?
I never thought about it, to be honest with you.
Do you know what? First and foremost, like when I look just at the event industry, right, as a whole. No, let's focus on photo booths, right? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any podcast with someone who looks like me talking about photo booths, right? No podcast.
Okay, but why does it matter?
It matters because I believe that the younger generation needs to see that, because I remember when I was like 16, 17, if I had a photo booth company, right, where I would be now would be completely different.
Oh, yeah. But
completely
but
different.
That's a lot of things. We could say that about a lot of things. We could like, do you know what I mean? Oh, if I bought property when I was 70, I'd be up. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
it's like,
but the thing is, I didn't see anyone who looked like me doing property. I didn't see anyone who looked like me. I don't know.
So you're saying you were trying to obviously highlight and showcase different opportunities and avenues that are available to black people.
Yeah, because the entry to a photo booth, like, it's low, it's not high. It doesn't cost a lot of money.
But there's a lot of like black photo booth operators already.
Now.
Yeah.
But imagine when I was 16 or 17, right?
Something.
Imagine I saw just one person do it. I went to an event and I saw it and I'm like, oh, raw, like, so what is this? And he or she is telling me it's a photo booth company. And I'm like, okay, how much do you charge? All right. So how much do you make on top? And he told me, I'll be like, I'm going to buy one.
Fair
right?
enough.
I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
Right. And one that would have actually drove me to actually get my license first. Right. And then I would have bought a property much earlier. I would have been able to bless my family a lot earlier, right?
Yeah.
Because what you make within the photo booth industry, if you price right,
which is key, and we're gonna be talking about
exactly.
that as well.
If you price right is like you're making more than 100%. What percentage would you place on your outgoings to the profit that you make? One booking.
Once you've broken even after obviously the initial cost of setting up the business, the cost in terms of executing a booking is more to do with the manpower. It's the labour. It's the cost really after that, because you get, obviously we use SnapPick.
Yeah.
SnapPick works out to be, was it £59?
Yeah, well, you pay monthly.
Yeah.
I pay per event.
Yeah.
So you can pay per event or you can pay monthly, right? And we'll get into that as well.
But so for instance, I don't know, £59. I calculate it to be like £15 an event for argument's sake. So that's that cost. And then the next cost is the ink and paper.
Yeah.
Call that 40 quid for argument's sake.
If you're doing ink and paper, because you might want to do digital as well. Depends.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Then the fuel to get there, call that the score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
£20 if you don't know what a score means.
Yeah, sorry. £20 is we're in the UK. And the other things would be it's just then the labour, your time, and obviously feeding yourself while you're at the venue or getting a drink if you might be at an expensive venue.
And most clients will give you food, you know.
It matters who the clients are. Sometimes are very accommodating.
Yeah.
And they will. But then, it depends on where you are. I don't know. It's a funny one because you want to obviously get something to eat or drink while you're there because you're there for well, nearly like 6 hours. Let's be honest. You do a 4-hour booking. You're there hour before, hour after. So that's 6 hours. You're gonna want to have some type of beverage or food just to obviously tick you over. But then going back to the whole race thing, is it a thing where if we were of a different ethnicity, would they be more accommodating?
You know what? I think so. So there's a lot of times I've done bookings, right?
And by the way, this could just be all in our head for we know.
Nah, you know what? No.
You know what I mean? This could be just like a little psychological thing.
It could be, but I don't believe it is.
Well, you feel like when you go to like a black event, they're gonna look after you better than a white event.
You know what I would say is that when it comes to certain environments, so when it comes to certain environments, right, I believe they look at me as a businessman as opposed to a black businessman. Does that make sense? So let me break it down for you. So as a black businessman, they may believe that that's all you do, and that's all you can aspire to do, right?
Okay.
Come, make them laugh, and then go home, right? Whereas it's a business. Every business, you still need a mind, you still need a brain to do so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, when I say it's a race thing, when I look at, for example, a lot of the photo booth companies who deal with experiential marketing or who deal with big branding events, right? I don't see anyone who looks like me. There's no one who looks like me that does that. It's like...
But the thing is, we can't see that because, number one, we're in a small pond being in the UK, right? So in America, there most probably is.
But in the UK...
Okay, so if we're just talking in the UK, no, but then, let's be honest, we're a minority, 6% in terms of the ethnicity in the UK, so ethnic backgrounds, sorry. So it is what it is. But as you said that, straight away, I said to myself, well, who does look after me? And I'll be honest with you, Asian events look after me.
Okay, yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why, but they always look after me. They'll offer me drink, they'll offer me food. Like that's just like a standard. And I don't have to ask for nothing. But then I do know that some booth operators put that in their T's and C's and say like, well, look, we're sending a member of staff down. Can you please ensure that you provide a drink and food, blah, blah, blah. Because like, we go to a wedding, the band is fully catered for.
Yeah, all the time.
The band has got a 3-course meal. Like they've got breaks. And you think to yourself, hold on a minute, I'm working 4 hours clean, straight through. Yeah. But that band is singing for 30 minutes. They're off. Then they get to have their full gourmet meal and eat and drink and be merry. And cool, they go back on, but they get breaks. But obviously with the photo booth,
no breaks.
That is that.
It's just constant.
Working.
It's just constant. I mean, like if I go back to the race thing, I remember there was one client, right? Okay. There's one client at the booking, normally come 2 hours in advance. At least.
You come 2 hours in advance.
2 hours in advance. Okay. At least an hour and a half in advance. The reason being is, if I haven't been to the venue before, I don't know how long it's going to take to get in, to unload. I don't know all of that. So I've come early, equipment's in, the client's on my back. The client's like, okay, what are you going to do now? I'm like, hold on, wait. I'm like, okay, give me an hour, I'll sit up. But I'm thinking, if I was white, would you be on my back like that? Would you be looking over my shoulder like that? But then again, it's happened more than once. It's happened more than twice. Really? Happened more than 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you know what it is? Everybody just wants it to be ready so they can just get going. So you already know, like, for instance, while we're setting up, attendees will be like, oh, can I jump on? And you always would say to them, like, no, it's going to start at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whatever time it's been stipulated by the customer. But that's just eagerness of the people wanting to experience the booth and obviously have their moment before it gets wild.
But they can see that you're setting up though.
Yeah, but it's just like a kid in a toy shop. It's like, oh, I want that, mummy. Oh, I want that, daddy. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're at an event. They just they're merry. They want to enjoy themselves. They want to have that time. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. a part of me saying, yeah, I think race does play a part, and another part is just like, well, it's just people in general, but I don't really know. But do you care about it? How do you feel about it?
I feel I would like to see more black people in those spaces. And what I mean by that is, so I've done many different award shows, right? Okay. But I rarely see people who look like me. I rarely see people who look like me at those award shows.
But then it goes back to the same point of, well, we're the minority.
We are the minority.
So it's like, what do you expect? If we went to Ghana,
yeah.
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 Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll come back to that. Once, yeah, I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it.
But I'll be honest with you, yeah. My thing with obviously being a black man in events, I don't really have a thing. It's only when I go to snobby establishments, then that's a real thing, because they are moving crazy. Even some of the bouncers, like, you know, some of these nightclubs, it's like, I'll be honest with you, I've nearly had altercations because you are taking the piss. You are racially profiling me. It's very blatant. Do you know what I mean? Like, a few times where it's just like, I'm saying to myself, don't engage, because there's definitely a race issue going on here, but I'm here in a professional manner, and I don't need all this.
And you want to represent your business well, isn't it?
To the point where even the people who have booked me have had to come and check their own people, because they can see, like, you're moving wild. Like, what are you doing? Like, he's here to help. But that's my issue when I have those type of moments. But like I said, it's mainly in those snobby establishments where it's like, yeah, you're just moving off. It's like, I just want to get out of there. Those are the events I hate. So
would you say that they, you know, you come to provide a service, so would you say they kind of see you as the help, almost like they don't value you at that moment in time, but now when you're set up and you're entertaining everyone, then they see the value?
Yeah, but ultimately I am the help. Ultimately, I'm there to help these guests enjoy this experience and make the most out of the opportunity of the photo booth being there. So in that sense, yeah, I am the help, but don't actually deal with me in a way where you feel that you're superior to me, because...
Or it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, because ultimately, I'm only here to provide a service. I've been paid to come here to do this particular service. Now, I think what you're kind of referring to is, for instance, like the toilet man.
I mean, the thing is, I think the thing is,
you don't want to get mistaken for the toilet man.
You know what? I think sometimes I'm either mistaken for security. All right.
Yeah.
Security. I'm all in black.
Yeah. Wait. Quickly, just touch on this. Yeah. How do you attend your events? Yeah. Because this is something that I think about a lot sometimes.
Oh, okay. You know what? It depends what type of event it is. Okay. So majority of the time, if it's majority of the time I still come in my polo shirt. If it's summer, obviously polo shirt.
So you're branded.
I'm branded, yeah. So it's all black. Got my branded polo. And I've got like black trousers or black jeans, right? Okay. And then black trainers. So all blacked out, right? That makes sense, yeah. If it's cold, I've got my my fleece on, and that's branded once again. Okay. All right. Okay. Majority of the time, if it's a really really nice event,
what are the colors you're wearing?
What other color?
No, what are the colors of your uniform that you're wearing? What are you?
Just black.
So, but then. That's what security wear.
Well, yes, but they have the brand here.
Yeah, but come on, it's the colours, isn't it?
Okay, so most security do have a white shirt and they have a black tie, right? But they have a big black jacket, right?
Yeah, but
majority of the time I'm in a polo. Okay. Security guards don't wear polos.
I know, but it's black.
It's black. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I purposely don't wear black. But I'll be honest with you. There was a stage, for whatever reason, I was always wearing black. Yeah. But then I noticed, I said, hold on a minute. They're mistaking me for the venue staff. Yes, and there's a big difference, because obviously those venue staff are employed by that venue. They know certain things. And when the customer approaches me to ask me something about that particular venue, I'm not helpful. I can't even help you. I don't even know. And then they're looking at me like, well, who are you type thing. So generally, I dress smart casual. Just like I would go to anybody's party.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I removed the brand. We used to have when I first started.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we used to do?
Yeah.
We had sachets.
Oh, yeah, sachets. I don't think I wore the sachets. I didn't wear sachets.
We had waistcoats.
Yeah, I wore the waistcoat.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember waistcoat.
Yeah. We had waistcoats, branded waistcoats. Like, it was smart. It was nice. But I changed from it because I just felt to myself, well, this is just too square.
Yeah.
And the service that I'm trying to provide, how I'm trying to like cocoon it, it's fun and it's laughter and it's love. Yeah. It's relaxed because I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
And the brand, when I looked at it, didn't reflect my personality personally. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, let me just change it up, make it more relaxed, be smart casual, and then that way I'm comfortable. So when I'm at the venue, I can interact and talk to people. But now it's totally different. Where now it's like, oh, you're the DJ, which you must get.
You know what? When I bring the mirror photo booth in, they're like, "Oh, you're the DJ." I'm like, "No, I'm not the DJ." Or the 360. Oh, you're the DJ. No, I'm not the DJ.
But then look, if you really check it, right, this is just another, not like stigma, but or a cliche. It's just something that we've got on our heads because we're operating a business which is unique in the sense of it hasn't been there as long as the DJ industry. Of course, It hasn't been there as long as a standard photography.
So therefore, they're gonna believe that. Yeah, that's who you are.
Yeah, exactly. You know? They're gonna.
Well, I prefer to be the DJ than the security man, though.
I would. Yeah.
Because
DJ gets love.
Yeah, I know.
DJ gets good love.
I know, but I'm not the DJ.
Yeah,
but I'm an MC. But then I dress differently.
Okay, so how's that experience? Because obviously that's another part of you where, okay, you're an MC. Yeah. So how do you feel being an MC and having, obviously, being a minority MC? Yeah. How is that? And what type of clients have you been attracting?
Do you know what? I'm treated completely differently because of the time. It's so crazy.
So explain when you say, for people who don't know, explain what you do in terms of MC.
All right, so
people might think like you're a garage MC, like might check one, two, one, two. So
do you know what?
You need to do you know explain. What? When you say MC, what do you mean by MC? Let's stipulate that for me.
All right, funny enough, right? Okay, I literally was at my mum's house just the other day, right?
Okay.
And I found my old garage tapes.
Okay.
I was playing it.
Yeah, boss.
I was playing it. Yeah. I was playing it. I was literally playing it. Yeah. But do you have a cassette player at home?
No.
You don't have a cassette player, right? I found my daughter's little like Fisher Price cassette player.
Oh, sick.
I was playing on that.
Yeah.
I'm literally playing on that. But back to your question, right? MCs are master of ceremonies, right? Mm-hmm. So a master of ceremonies or a toastmaster, who directs the day of your wedding, all right? Or think of it like this. Think of a TV program, right? Without any host and just things happening. It doesn't work. You need a host. You need a presenter. So just like at a wedding, you need someone to direct. You need someone to speak about what's going to happen on the day, where the fire exits are, to introduce the bride and the groom, the bridal party, to bring the life to the party.
Okay.
To bring that life and that energy to that party. So an MC brings the life and energy.
Can you give us a little sample of like what you would do? Like,
ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez,
come on.
Straight in, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice changes. You're a bit more fun. You're a bit more vibrant. You know, you're there to deliver, but you're in control.
Okay.
A master of ceremonies is in control of the whole event.
Okay.
He or she.
How does somebody get into that? Especially, obviously, being a minority, coming from a minority ethnic background. Yeah. How does somebody get into that?
You know what? It just comes down to if you have the confidence and the consistency, right? The main thing is you've got Instagram, you've got YouTube, you've got TikTok, right? Clients find you, and the best way to do so is just to go to wedding fairs. You go to wedding fair. Get your branding,
and when you say so you get an actual booth at a wedding fair.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Get your booth,
and then how would you showcase yourself?
So literally, you make sure you do a styled shoot, or a photographer just takes a few pictures of you. What's or not? You have your banner.
Okay.
Banner from here to there.
Just a pull-up banner.
Pull-up banner, yeah. Okay. Just a pull-up banner. You have your website. If you can get a website straight away.
Okay.
Your business contact number, because you don't want people to be calling you on your personal number.
Yeah,
Have your business cards. But yeah, just put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. The clients are there.
But how did you develop that skill set, or you've already had that skill set? Like, how do you know to even conduct and host? Was you given the format? Where did you get your experience from? How has that been formulated and packaged where you can go and deliver that? Where's that come from?
I think I was saying to my friend just the other day, right? Two of my friends the other day. I've been working with young people for quite some time, right? And I've been a youth leader at church.
Okay.
And I was doing that for about 10 years, right?
Okay. So you're used to speaking.
I'm used to speaking.
Okay. Yeah. Delivering like Bible studies.
That's
or
correct, yeah.
Things of this nature.
But delivering like interactive sessions. So not just
so this is a study session basically.
It's a study session, but it's more a public speaking event, right? I would say, all right. So yes, we take the Bible into consideration. Yes, we have songs on the projector. But a lot of the time we're asking the young people their thoughts. We're asking the young people what would they do in this situation. We're giving the young people scenarios. So you could say it's like a classroom, but a bigger classroom, if that makes sense, right?
Yes,
much bigger space. And instead of having, let's say, 20 or 30 young people, you have like 40 young people. And instead of having just one class on the same topic, you're having 2 classes on the same topic
with you
on one Sunday. So if you're doing that twice every Sunday for about 10 years, let's say you're doing 4 sessions a month, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn how to project yourself. You're going to learn how to, speak to people in a certain way.
But then if you didn't go to church and have these experiences, would you then be able to go and be an MC now?
You know what? I would say I would say I probably still would have went down that road, just that I may not be in the best position at this moment in time. I may not have got the clients that I got already, if that makes sense.
Why is that?
I would say maybe I wouldn't have as much confidence. I would have had confidence to do it, but I would say I wouldn't have had as much confidence because it's not easy speaking in front of people.
No,
and it's not easy speaking in front of young people between the age of 13 and 15. You know how they can get, whether it's girls, whether it's boys.
Yeah.
Their attention span. You need to make sure that they're engaged in some shape or form.
Yeah, facts.
You need to have 1 or 2 games. You need to make sure that you're speaking from lived experiences as well. You need to be able to connect.
Yes.
And if you're able to connect on a consistent basis, then what's the difference to connect with 100 people or 200 people that are actually more around your age range? Then you're actually more comfortable.
Yeah, with you.
So for me, it's about doing it consistently, but also having that confidence. I mean, I'm a public speaker now anyway. I deliver training anyway in my 9 to 5.
Okay, and that's through employment.
That's correct, yeah.
And how did that come about? How did you get down? Because obviously you're multifaceted. You do a lot of different things, right? But what I'm trying to now gauge is, for instance, somebody who's watching this or an individual who's unaware of these opportunities, how would they then navigate themselves into a position like what you've been able to put yourself into?
That's a very good question.
Because you're saying you want to show people, yeah, cool. They can now see you, but ultimately they need a guide. They need to understand, okay, give me a brief overview in terms of steps you would take to get into something like that, to be an MC, because it's a cool job. Even when you told me about it, I was just like, yo, that's wicked. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's totally different. You're now obviously somebody. You're not a DJ anymore. You're not like you're a headliner. Yeah, no backup dancer business. You're the main guy now because you're actually now orchestrating the whole event.
That's right. Yeah.
And everything's going through you, and people are now looking at you. So it's like, okay, that's a fantastic position to be in. How does an individual facilitate that? How can they put themselves into a position like that? Because that's a great opportunity.
All right.
How would you say that?
You know what?
You do not have somebody, obviously, not everyone goes to church. Like, let's be honest, I don't know, I stopped going to church when I was like 14, for argument's sake. So there's a big majority of people who don't go to church anyway nowadays. Things have changed, right? So
take that away. How do you get into?
Yeah.
I would say we all have friends, right?
Yeah.
And our friends always have different types of events. Whether
Yeah.
it's a baby shower, whether it's a birthday, it's something. Whether we're putting on an event, it's something. Each of those different events needs a host. Each of those different events needs someone to manage the room, if that makes sense. Yeah. Offer your services for free at the end of the day. If you feel confident enough to be able to orchestrate a room with people either you know or you don't know, right?
But where's the structure coming from?
The structure's coming from you. The structure's coming from you. The structure's coming from you because you know what to do on the day, right? You know,
because you've had a conversation with the client and client said to
so
you,
you sit down with the client, you find out, okay, what's happening on the day. So let's say, for example, it's a birthday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So a birthday is taking place. You know what time the celebrant is going to be there. Everyone gets there. Let's say, I don't know, 9 o'clock, for example. Okay, the celebrant is going to get there at 9:30, right? The celebrant most likely is going to want an entrance, right?
okay,
The doorway opens and you have to introduce that celebrant. You need to make sure you've spoken with that DJ, right?
Okay.
That the DJ's got
So
a
now
song,
there's
a banger on.
there's a conversation, so you're cohesive in terms of how it's going to be
Yeah,
conducted.
you're having a consultation, but even
Is
before
that prior, or is that why you've gone into the
I say
venue?
that's prior. I say that's prior, but even before that, you're speaking to your friend. You're finding out from your friend, or the client, should I say, what's taking place on the whole day. Are you having an entrance? Are you going to be doing speeches? Are you going to give a speech? Are there other people going to give a speech? Is there a cake? Are you cutting a cake? Are you having a dance with your missus or vice versa? Like, what is going to be taking place on the day? Once you have a schedule of what's going to happen on the day, then all you need to make sure you do, you're announcing at different stages of the day.
So what about when there's moments where you've got to fill? Because you know, obviously, that must happen a lot.
Yeah.
So then what happens?
You have a game. You have a few games.
Games? Like what?
All right. So, for example, supermarket sweep.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what supermarket sweep is, all right? So, for example, there might be, let's say, 5 people in the middle of the dance floor, right? Okay. All right. So, I'm like, okay, there's 5 people here. What I want you to do, right? I want you to go and get an iPhone. But I asked the audience.
So you're asking people to come up.
To come up. So I asked people to come up.
So you say, can I have 5 people? Can you please come forward?
Participate, yeah.
What's the vibe like? Are people on it or no? It's like,
do you know what?
No.
A lot of the time, you probably get 10 hands go up. Like, people's hands go up.
Oh, people want to get involved.
Yeah, people want to go up. People want to go up. People
Okay.
always want to go up. Everyone wants to be the center of attention. Like, when you're at a party.
And there's no prize?
Nah, there's no prize, no.
Okay, wow.
Nah, there's no prize.
But they want to...
Does there always have to be a prize?
No, but you know what it is? You just think to yourself, okay, like, are they going up as an incentive? But
sometimes they can be. Sometimes they can be, but I don't have that prize to give.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, go on.
So 5 people come up. Yes, I asked 5 people come up. Want you to participate in this game. Have you heard of supermarket sweep? Some say yes, some say no. So I say, okay, first of all, this is what you're gonna have to do. Okay, I'm gonna ask the audience here to participate. So whatever I say, for example, if you have an iPhone or you have car keys, I'm gonna say one of those 2 things. And then what you 5 people have to do is to go and get that from the people who have put up their hands that say they have an iPhone or car keys. Then you come back. So as quick as you can.
So this is a race.
Yes.
Okay.
And you got some people who are very competitive.
Yeah.
Some quiet people who are very competitive. Some loud people who are very competitive. Right.
Yeah.
The last person to come back is obviously out the game.
Okay, and it just dwindles down basically.
It dwindles down, yeah. And it works so beautifully when you have chairs. So if you have 5 chairs, 4 chairs, 4 chairs, right? No, 5 chairs. And then when they go, you take away your chair. So obviously by the time they come back, they realize there's no chair. They realize that they know that they're out.
Okay.
Yeah,
wicked.
So you got that, but then you've got a few other games that you can play, right?
Okay.
But the game that I like is the sing-along game. So I get the DJ to play a song, right? But to take away the lyrics, right?
Okay.
And you can just hear the instrumental.
Okay.
So then you got everyone else trying to guess what the name of the song is.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll separate the room. So you got a group on the right and you got a group on the left, right? Now, majority of the time, everybody starts singing, right? And at that point, I'm waiting to see who's singing the loudest. before I announce what side is better than the other.
Okay.
And no side wants to be the loser.
When you're doing this, you got a mic in your hand?
Yeah, I always got a mic.
Okay. Do you bring your own
Just
mic?
like this. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my own mic, but the DJ normally always has a mic.
Okay.
But I've already spoken to the DJ prior.
Okay, so
to make sure he has a mic, but also to run through what the day would actually look like.
Okay.
But there's actually a lot in terms of making sure that the day goes accordingly. It's a lot more complex than that, but for the purpose of today, that's a lot more simpler.
Okay. And then in regards to now your ethnicity and attracting, because obviously you want to attract all forms of clients.
Yeah.
You obviously you're not prejudiced in any way, but what type of clients have you been getting and attracting?
That's a good question. It's been a mixture, you know. I think the first ever wedding I done, the bride was Ghanaian, black and Ghanaian, and the groom was white English guy.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Who booked you?
I was interested. It was through a planner.
Okay.
It was through a planner that I know well. So
you already had a relationship there.
Yeah, and that's
is that relationship from the photo booths or from a different?
You know what?
That's
from photo booths. That's from photo booths, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that is from photo booths. So what has happened is that a lot of the relations that I have through having my photo booth business obviously transitioned to being any other type of vendor, to be fair. Especially at MC, because they know me, they know my character already, and they know I'm lively, they know I'm bubbly. They know I can be serious at times, but at the same time, that's the same with everyone. Everyone's serious at times, right? So it was quite easy to transition through, to be fair. Very easy to transition through.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, I had done a live virtual show prior to launching myself as an MC. And even then, my friend said, "Oh, Joseph, do you want to be my MC at my wedding?" I said, "Yeah, where is it?" He said, "Yeah, Greece." I said, "Okay." So my second booking is going to be in Greece. So I'm an international MC. So it's the opportunity. So I think no matter whether you have a photo booth business or you're a master of ceremonies, it's about relationships.
Okay.
It's about building and maintaining relationships.
So have you had any other ethnic groups reach out to you?
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember where the gentleman's from. All right. So I done a wedding. So groom was Nigerian, and the lady was from Afghanistan.
Okay.
And then I done another wedding. I got another booking after that, but the wedding was before that. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
And the groom was Afghan.
Okay.
And the bride was black.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of mixed.
It's been quite interesting. And I've got a wedding coming up next year. The bride is black. And the groom, I'm trying to remember where he's from now. He's not black. I can't remember where he's from. But once again, another mixed wedding. I believe a majority of the weddings I've had are quite mixed. Yeah.
Okay.
Are mixed. I have done 2 black couples before. No, yeah, quite a few black couples, but also mixed. And yeah, mix and blend. Why not?
Okay. Because I'm trying to gauge to see, well, is there a stigma? Is it a social or a case where only certain ethnic groups would book with you?
No. When it comes to that, they can see my personality. When it comes to a photo booth booking, okay, so the difference between when a client's booking me for a photo booth booking, right, I don't have a Zoom consultation with them. It's just over the phone or via email. Most of the time, sometimes they're not interested in you per se.
Yeah.
They should be, but half the time they're not. I think some clients don't value you as a person.
No, because they want the product.
They want the product, but then they're forgetting that you come with the product. They forget that either you or your staff come with the product, right? Because the product by itself is what? It's a product.
It's nothing.
It's all part of the service is having someone there and someone to communicate with. And if anything goes wrong, that they can rely on that person, right? And I think sometimes clients forget about that part. We can get into that in a minute. Now, when it comes as an MC, they're trusting you with their event, their whole event. Everything relies on you. With the photo booth, that's just part of the day. Whereas MC is the whole thing. You're bringing everything together. You're announcing the food. You're making sure that they're smiling. You're making sure that the bride and groom, when they have an entrance, that it's an entrance, like that the floor's shaking. When the bridal party come in, when the mum and dad, like when the whole family see you and hear you, you're trying to bring a vibe. So they, as long as you bring a vibe, as long as you're professional, as long as you're focused, you're consistent, they don't care what you look like. They want to make sure that you bring the vibe. And I've never had a thing where I think it's only one type of person that wants to hire my services. If our personalities don't match, then maybe. But even still, I've had couples who are kind of quiet and relaxed, so I adapt. I'm adaptable, right? But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It does. Because then the next thing I'm trying to understand is then where, especially in relation to the MCing gig, where do you currently advertise? How does people actually find you? Because that will play a big part in terms of the types of individuals who inquire and book.
Yeah. So I do advertise on Instagram. All right.
Okay. And when you say advertise on Instagram, are you paying for ads or are you just posting and just doing everything organically? Or collaborating? What are you actually doing?
I'm posting. I do a bit of collaboration with
How
my
often
photo
are you
booth company. I don't post that often, to be fair. I don't post that often. Although 2024 I will be.
Okay.
But I don't post that often. One of the reasons why I don't tend to post
Why,
that
sorry,
often.
why 2024?
2024 because it's coming out.
It's
coming. I mean,
what's he waiting for?
The thing is, 2023 is coming to an end. 2024, I want to bring more light to my MC services, right?
Okay.
And majority of the time, I do packages, so MC services and photo booth all in one.
And how does that work? So you're MCing, and then as soon as you finish MCing, you're flying over to the photo booth, or no, you got a member of staff.
I got a member of staff.
Okay.
See, that can be a bit tricky, to be fair. Yeah. Trying to do both, and then that's a lot of pressure, to be fair. You know, because you need to obviously set up the photo booth, and then you need to focus on that. Yeah. So when I'm MCing and I've sold a package, so an MC package and a photo booth package, kind of put it into one. I normally have staff.
What does something like that cost?
Very good question.
Average. Just don't have to give me like,
all right.
So it's exactly this, but just average, just a ballpark, so people get an understanding of. Okay, so if I was to hire Joseph, and he does my MCing, and so he provides an MCing service and a photo booth service. Yeah. This is a rough idea in terms of what it will cost. So
MC services start from $895 for about 6-7 hours. So that's like from like 3 up until about 9, and if I'm enjoying myself, I'll stay till 10. So you might get a bonus hour. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. Photo booth services, depending on, as we all know, depending on what type of package you want. But if you go for like a basic package, photo booth starts on $399 for 2 hours, right? Now, majority of the time, what I might say to a client is, okay, you can either pay the $399 and you can have it for the whole event. Okay. All right. As well as me as an MC. If you're doing two in one. Okay. Or what you could do is you could pay, let's say, anything from 1,000 to 1,100, and you can have it, let's say, 2 to 3 hours. So it just depends. Okay. It just depends on how long you need it for, what type of booth you want, and kind of what package, as we all do know. And I'm sure we can speak about packages either later on in this episode or another episode. Yeah. And then you said, obviously, you would have a member of staff who looks after the booth while you MC. Correct, yeah. All right, cool. Well, I think that's quite good for what we've spoken about today. What's your thoughts? Give us an outtake in terms of just your thoughts in general in regards to being a minority, coming from my ethnic minority background, and being in the event space. I think when it comes to being in an event space, right? I think, when it comes to being there on time, right? I'm always there 2 hours early, right? And funny enough, I actually got that from yourselves in the early days. 2 hours early. Yeah, that was. So I've actually kept to that. I've actually kept to that. And even if I'm an hour late, I'm not an hour late for the client. I'm an hour late for myself. Yes, exactly. So I'm still early. But majority of the time for me, it's about being on time and just making sure that from the very get go, the client is happy. The client is happy that you're there on time, that they're not worried, that they're not concerned. So for me, my outtake is just making sure that I'm there on time, on my time, ready for the client, and I'm surprising the client by being there early.
Okay. And is this in relation to the fact that you're a black man, or this is just how you choose to operate your business in general?
You know what? I think it's a bit of both.
Really?
I
Okay.
think it's a bit of both. It's one being professional, but I think sometimes as a black business owner, a black photo booth business owner, you want to make sure that there's no reason for them to be annoyed or upset with you, because sometimes as a black man, they that client
Do you know what?
that client.
Yeah, as you just said that, yeah, something has just come into my mind, and sorry to cut you,
Go ahead.
yeah, but do you feel that at certain points they're looking for an excuse to try and ask for a refund?
Yes, sometimes, yeah.
And it's happened to me a few times, and it's like you can smell it. It's so apparent that you're itching to try and find fault, and like I said, I don't know if it's my own paranoia or if it is based on my ethnicity, but certain customers are definitely looking at the fact of, oh, he's a black man, he's not going to be able to deliver this properly, so let me just, anything that he does wrong, I'm going to be on him. But that's my opinion. That's not all. I've got obviously customers from all different ethnic backgrounds, and they are magnificent, and I love all my customers because they do generally deal with me really, really well. But I do come across these odd rotten apples, and do you know what? It's always the cheap ones.
Do you know what?
Always the cheap ones.
We should get into that on the next episode. We're giving them too much. We're giving them too much right now.
We have to touch on that. But
what's your outtake?
My outtake is, to be honest with you, before it was a thing, I'm not going to lie. And then I just got to that point in my life where I just said, you know what? I don't care. If you don't like me because of my color of my skin, or you feel like I'm not professional enough because I'm a black man, or I can't own a business, or I can't conduct that level of service because of my ethnicity or the color of my skin, well, that's your prerogative. Ultimately, for me, generally, I feel like I'm one of the best operators out there because I deliver and I ensure that everybody has a great time. And the feedback that I get tells me that, and it makes me feel good about myself. So I don't generally look at it anymore because I just can't be bothered. You don't keep that energy. That's you lot's business. Me, I'm going to make sure I smash it. So if you book with me, you're getting the top. Simple. And it's not based on my color of my skin. It's actually just based on who I am and the experience that I have gone through, and I'm able now to deliver a very high level of service. And that's how I basically operate my business now. So if I do have those scenarios where I do feel like, well, you're moving a bit odd towards me, that's your prerogative. I'm still going to deliver my service. Obviously, the energy is not going to be the same because there is going to be a disconnect, but that disconnect is based on your energy. And I'm still going to be me, ultimately. But I just leave it with them and I just keep it moving. That's pretty much it.
In summary, customer service is key, and delivering a high level of service is key. A high level of professionalism is key. I was going to ask you another thing, but I'm going to wait till the next episode because otherwise I think it's too much for everyone.
Cool.
I think they need to reflect on this one.
Yeah, no, definitely. But look, great topics, great conversation, and I'm looking forward to the next episode.
All right, cool. Everyone, on that note, we'll see you in a bit. What are we called again?
Booth Matters.
Booth Matters.
So stay tuned. Next episode of Booth Matters coming real soon. How often are we going to be?
Once every month.
Once a month. So once a month, we're going to produce one podcast or release one podcast, because obviously these are pre-recorded. One podcast. We will chop up different bits of the podcast and drop that throughout the weeks. But generally, the main bulk of the podcast will be delivered once a month, around the same time, mostly back end of the month, I presume.
Yeah, back end of the month. On a Wednesday.
It might change.
Yeah, on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday?
Yeah,
okay.
Midweek. Yeah.
Midweek, Wednesday drop. That's great. And just stay tuned. And honestly, it's going to be great. We're going to have deep conversations pertaining to all things photo booths, all things events. We're going to get different venues, different vendors, and we're going to go into a lot of detail, and we're going to just give you the raw honest truth. It's going to be good conversations anyway, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
And remember, today's podcast is sponsored by
Bushy Country Club. Get down here if you're having a wedding or a function and you want to have it in an area which is in Watford, or it doesn't even matter, wherever you are, really, isn't it? It's a nice venue, really nice venue, and they've got so many different rooms and aesthetics that it's definitely pleasing. Everything's Instagram worthy here, to be honest with you. Yeah. So as you'll see from different episodes, because we film here a lot, you'll see different parts and you'll be like, oh, where is this? And it's all in the same venue. So this is all coming from Bushy Country Club. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ali, for having us. It's a great club. Get down here. And yeah, we'll speak to you guys soon. Yeah. We out.